So how are you today, Kevin?
Good.
Very good. So anybody else who is joining us, welcome to Living a Remarkable Life, our weekly blab at 11 o'clock EST and what is it, 9 a.m. Mountain Time?
Yep.
And today we're talking about online tools because online tools are a great way to help you live a remarkable life. We need those tools to really help us engage not only locally but worldwide.
Yep.
Yes. So Kevin, we were going to talk about a few different tools. Did you want to start this morning?
Sure. I mean, I think we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but in order to live a remarkable life, a big way or a big thing you need to do generally is surround yourself with other people, and get involved in some communities of people who are also, working to live a remarkable life or share a common, interest or passion with you. And one of my favorite tools for doing that is meetup.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a great site. You can, especially if you live in bigger cities like I do in Calgary, there's 1.2 million people. So, you can go on there and there's over 100, probably a couple hundred meetups in Calgary. And, you just search for one related to what you're interested in talking about, or even maybe just find one of, other people who are trying to make a difference in the world or live, follow their passions. And if there isn't one, you can start one. I actually have started a couple here in Calgary, and the one called Calgary World Changers, which is meant to, meet people who are out to make a positive change in the world. We're up to like almost 70 members in there now. So, Meetup is a great resource, I would say.
Oh, for sure. I've did lots of things through Meetup, and we've did everything from entrepreneurial meetups with startup drinks to other things, and we've just had a great time.
Yep.
Meetup.com is an absolutely wonderful tool. You can always find something new that you're interested in and join in that way.
Yep.
So it looks like we're still going to have Logan join us a little bit today. I had thought he might go off, but say hi quickly and then you can go finish your room.
No, since I'm done my room, I'm building my house and making my
Perfect. You go work on that.
Yay!
Never a dull moment when you're living a remarkable life with kids.
No, that's right.
Yeah, so I think we've both had really busy weeks too, and we're just so happy to be here talking again today.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a whole list of tools. Why don't I start listing a few of them, and then we can discuss each one as we go through. So just some of the tools, quick summary. All the Google applications are absolutely wonderful. Google Drive is my favorite. Google Analytics. Crowdfire.
You're collaborating.
Oh yeah, absolutely wonderful. Boomerang for Zero Inbox. Hootsuite. tchat.io for Twitter chats. Evernote in If. And of course blab.im. So what are some of the ones that you're going to talk about today, Kevin?
So I had obviously Meetup, and then also Asana, Facebook, Rescue Time, SiteBlocker, and WordPress.
So tell me a little bit about Asana.
So Asana is the task management.
What is Asana about? I've heard the name, but I have not used it.
Yeah, it's a free task management and kind of planning tool, and basically you can set up any number of projects. There's a free version and a paid version. I just use the free version. You can set up any number of projects, and then within each project you can set up the tasks that you need to get done. You can set due dates. You can change the due dates. You can add comments. You can do all sorts of things. It sends email notifications. So that's kind of what I use to set all my goals and.
Oh, we're losing you a little bit, Kevin.
Pardon me?
We're losing you, Kevin.
You're losing me?
Yeah, you're on audio only with a poor internet signal.
But you can hear me still? Yeah, I'm not getting
You're
anything.
a little bit scrambled, but hopefully it will pick back up soon. And let's keep going. So maybe while we're waiting for your signal, Renanda can see you perfectly.
Yeah, I'm wondering maybe.
Or
if it's
Ren, and is it Renand? Okay, so maybe it's just you I can't see. Is mine okay?
You seem to be coming through fine for me.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep going. It says to me that you're on poor internet signal, but Renan can see you fine. So we are absolutely good, and we'll keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so anyways, it's, I find...
Kids, anybody have a free app to make sure the kids don't come and interrupt you when you're doing a chat? They will be quiet for hours, and as soon as I get online with somebody, it seems that the kids flock together.
Yeah.
So, well, I can't do anything about that, but let's talk about some of the Google apps. Google Drive is my absolute favorite app from Google, because Google Drive also contains your Google Documents. You can share all your documents, you can upload images, spreadsheets, do whatever you want to do, upload it to the cloud, and then share it with whoever you want to share. It allows you to edit in real time, so when you're editing, if you don't save, it's already saved for you.
Yep. And
it's just a wonderful way to work with international teams. So I use it to work with my international Entrelaunch team. We're in all different time zones, and it's so wonderful to be able to upload a document, work on it together, edit it and make comments, and then be able to all access it at once or at separate times and change the information. So Google Drive, I would say, is my absolute #1 application, and it now seems to support uploading Word documents, whereas I'd say within the last 2 years that's something new, because 2 years ago I could not upload a native Word document and then be able to edit and share it the same way as I can today.
Yeah, it is quite useful for sure.
It is absolutely amazing. It is great to use, and it lets me have access to it anywhere, even on my Android phone, and I love it for that reason.
Yeah, I think another one to talk about, knowing that lots of people who are trying to live remarkable lives are often very limited on their time and trying to balance, lots of different activities. And me being somebody who is prone to distraction at times, I find that I can end up, I go online to start researching something, and then I can fall into this black hole of other information and other distractions. So I've started using this program called Rescue Time, which is free, and it's basically, you install it, it runs in the background, and it tracks the websites that you're on and the applications you're using on your computer. So at the end of the day, you can go back and see, gives you nice graphs that shows you how much was productive time and how much was non-productive time. And it can be pretty surprising, that non-productive time, when you drill into it, to see how much time you're spending on Facebook or reading the news or whatever it is. And with that information, you can then use it to adjust your routine and really, open your eyes to maybe how you could get more productive if you spent less time. And then hand in hand with that is, I don't know what web browser you use, but I use Google Chrome, and you can get extensions that you put on them to block certain sites at certain times of the day. If you want to really zero in and do some work, you can get it to block Facebook or Gmail or whatever, and set it totally at your control. And for me, I find that really useful to really, willpower is one thing, but that really stops the distraction habit for me.
Now, is that the one where if you really have to check Facebook right that moment, you can do a typing test?
Yeah, the one I use, you just go in and turn it off. But yeah, I know there's other ones where you can do typing tests and stuff like that.
Yes, I think.
Because obviously there could be a case where you really do need to get on and do something, but they do help put up that first line of defense.
Oh, for sure, because our time is so important, and it is very easy to get swept into Facebook or Twitter and end up spending 8 hours on it instead of what you need to be working on.
Yeah.
So along the lines of time-saving, time management tools, Boomerang app for Google or for Gmail is one of my favorites. It really helps with doing a zero inbox. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to see email in your inbox, but you don't want to just delete stuff at random, You install the Boomerang app, and then you can actually have it come back to you. The full email pops right back into your inbox in 2 hours or 2 days or the afternoon. So you can actually see it, come back, and then attend to it then. It's an absolutely great tool for those emails you just don't want to get to yet, but you want to make sure they come back to your attention, and it keeps your inbox very clean.
Now, is that using Gmail?
That's for Gmail only as far as I know.
So have you heard of Google's new inbox? Like, not the original Gmail, there's a new one called Google Inbox. It has it basically has the same thing. You can essentially snooze an email and have it come back to you at a later time.
I only have Inbox on my phone. I don't know, is it on the desktop as well now?
Yep,
yeah,
it is.
Because I do have it on my phone, but I like the native Google Gmail better than Inbox.
Yep. No, and that's totally fair. That's something else important to keep in mind with tools. You know, everybody's gonna like different tools. There's thousands out there, and you got to find the mix that works for you. That is so very true. I know when we get doing Twitter chats, there are a ton of tools out there for Twitter chats. It's everything from TweetChat, few other ones I think that have now come and gone, but my favorite is tchat.io, tchat.io/whatever the name of your chat is, and it just lets you follow along with everything, and lets you reply to people, and it just puts it in one stream. It's absolutely great for doing Twitter chats because I love Twitter chats, but you need to separate the noise, so I use it in combination with actual Twitter. So I can also see the responses that are coming in or the notifications from where people are talking to me directly versus the chat in total, because tweet chats move really fast. If you have not attended a tweet chat, try it, and it can be absolutely insane the speed it moves and the amount of tweets that go out. The other thing I use for managing Twitter is Hootsuite. And you can use Hootsuite for Twitter, for Instagram, for Facebook, for all those things. And what it does is it lets you set streams for different things that are going on. So on Twitter, you can divide it into the tweets you're sending, the people who are sending you messages. You can set keywords, so you can watch for words like entrepreneurship, or every time somebody mentions Katy Perry. Random people, but you can set up streams specifically for that information to come in. The other great thing about Hootsuite is that you can schedule your tweets or schedule your Facebook posts. I highly recommend being careful with that, because you don't want to tweet or post a Facebook post if you're not ready to respond. So it can be a good way to share articles and to have some type of daily presence or a regular weekly presence, but you need to make sure that you're available at the time that your posts go on, so you can respond in real time to people. That's something that is very important, is to be online, be present, and not just be a robot pushing out information. You need to be able to engage with people when it comes active. Also with Hootsuite, because you can cross-post to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, things like that, you need to be very careful, because people do not want to see the same thing on every single platform, and every post will not work on every single platform. A tweet may not work on Facebook, or may not be appropriate for LinkedIn. Yeah. It can work in some instances, but be very careful doing it. And it is a great tool if it is something that you really do need to push across your networks. Yeah. I believe you can put the same information on each network, but you have to make sure it's tailored for each network, so be very careful using it again. Yeah. It also is great if you have more than one Twitter account or more than one Facebook account and you want to post the same thing across it. Again, be careful, because if people are following you on all those accounts, they're going to get the same post 3 or 4 times, and that's not necessarily a good thing, so be careful. And we have Forex Alerts Nick, and I see Kasim has joined us as well. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So what is your next tool, Kevin? I was going to talk about WordPress. I mean, I think writing about, your area of interest that you're working on when you're trying to live a remarkable life is another important step to take. And for me, the blogging that I've done, I've always used WordPress. It's quite simple to use. You can use it for free. Set up a blog in a matter of minutes, really, and then just get on there and start writing. And it really doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or thousands of followers. I don't think. The important part is just getting that content writing. It's amazing what you start to learn and discover about your interest.
Oh, I'm losing you again.
You're losing me again? Well, it's weird because usually when my connection is not good, I get warnings and I'm not getting anything. So
I'm laughing because you sound so robotic and scrambled right now. I don't know if everybody else can hear you okay, but something weird's going on with the internet today. Now yeah, I'm scrambled as well.
It can happen, unfortunately.
Yes, it can. So I agree, WordPress is absolutely wonderful for blogging and content. And WordPress themes are so easily customizable. You no longer have to be an expert in coding to be able to have a website. And you can use WordPress for a standard website as well as your blog now, because now there is the option for static front pages, which allows you to build a website with a blog instead. Their themes are unlimited. Even the basic free themes are good. For advanced themes, you can pay like $60 for an advanced theme and end up with a ton of features, including online course scheduling and things like that. The plugins allow you to do so much stuff. Now back to the actual blogging and content. It's interesting that people say that you need to just keep putting out content. And I think it's something like 50 blog posts before your site really starts getting recognized for content and picked up by Google and things like that. So yeah, so keep blogging. Plugins, I think it's Yoast that I'm still using. Make sure you keep updating it. But different plugins will allow you to see the readability on the Fleischmann scale and everything else about your blog post, which will really help with the SEO of your posts as well. So take advantage of WordPress plugins for sure. Make sure you update them.
Yeah, that's the plugins and the themes, like you say, they're great tools to use.
For sure.
What else did you want to talk about for tools?
Well, Crowdfire app is one of my favorites for Twitter. So Crowdfire app allows you to see who's following you, who has followed you recently, who has unfollowed you, and a whole bunch of other great information that really gives you metrics on your Twitter account and what's going on. It also gives you the ability to see who has followed you, so you can make sure you're following everyone back you want to follow. And in that, you can also see, okay, who's followed you, who are maybe just trying to sell followers. Those accounts I tend to block right away because buying followers is just wrong. I don't know how you feel about it, but you shouldn't be buying followers. You want authentic followers. You want people who are going to engage with you, who actually are there for a reason, not because somebody's bought them. Accounts that have a ton of followers and only a couple of people following you, I really, really question, because those are the ones that have likely bought followers. It's not important to have a high follower count. It's more important to have quality followers. Yeah,
you want an authentic, engaged community. You don't want a fake community. I completely agree. It's funny with my blog, I'm getting all these weird comments that are, I think, automated, or people just spamming blogs trying to get their comment counts up to promote their websites. And yeah, it definitely drives me a little crazy.
Yeah, definitely check out some of the WordPress plugins, because you can reduce some of those. Also, you want to watch for trackback and pingbacks and a whole bunch of other nasty things that just clog your filters and put in all your comments. And I hate the ones selling health products or sunglasses as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of those things out there. But there's good tools to manage it, like you say, with the plugins.
It really makes you wonder about the people who are doing things like spamming and selling all the followers. There's obviously a market for it, and it's sort of sad to know that there's a market for it and there's people out there doing things like that. I've never met anybody who is, but there's obviously a lot of people who do spam, like just spam people for the fun of it. And that's sad. They're not living a remarkable life.
No, they certainly aren't. They're not. They're not
Yeah.
the kind of people you or I want to associate with.
For sure, for sure. So we say no to spammers, no to trolls. Let's be authentic and actually have real followers that we engage with, because we don't want people just to follow us. We want people to engage with us and be part of our community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
And,
let's see.
well, speaking of community, I think another one that is important to mention, even though it's been around for quite a while, is Facebook. You know, I've been on Facebook for, I guess, coming up on 9 years. And, you know, the last couple of years, I hadn't been using it as much, aside from, yeah, it definitely can be a hellhole.
Yes, it can be.
You know, I've been using it mostly for, you know, event planning and keeping in touch with friends and family when I'm traveling. But since going to the World Domination Summit, I've definitely used it more for community interaction, and I think it's great for that. If you can get into some communities that, again, are supportive of you or are interested in similar topics to you, it's a great way to connect with people. But even that can still become unmanageable if, depending on how you have your notifications set. Like, I know me, I need to adjust mine because I get way too many emails from Facebook.
Hold on for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. And yeah, learning to curate it it's definitely a skill, because there's so much that can happen on Facebook, and you know, you can go on there to look at updates from your community and all of a sudden fall into something that's on your timeline, and then you're all of a sudden watching a YouTube video of a cat shooting lasers at mice or whatever. But you know, when used properly, Facebook can be quite powerful, I think.
Mm-hmm. And Renaud brings up a good point. You do need to curate your Facebook. And your Facebook, you have to look at from Jim Rohn's point of view. You want to surround yourself with 5 people who you want to be most like. I can't remember the exact words, but you want to
the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Perfect. You want to make sure that your Facebook is reflecting that. So don't add people just because you do them in high school. Don't add people who just want to be added so they can spam you. Make sure that you have real valuable connections on your Facebook. And if you have family members that you need on there that maybe you don't want to see stuff from, you can do things like limit their interaction. You can block them on your newsfeed. You don't see the stuff. You can unfollow them. Unfollowing does not necessarily go over well with family members, but you can definitely limit the crap out of it. So do it.
Yeah, it takes a little effort, but it's worth it, because it can definitely suck a lot of time. Yeah, unfollow is different than unfriending. Yeah. Unfollow just means their posts don't show up on your feed anymore, but they're still friends with you. They don't actually know.
Limit it too. Yeah. So you can limit their posts. So what you do is you go in and you limit it so they can only see certain things versus seeing all your feed, which also helps cut down on it. Unfriend where you need to, and make sure anybody that you're adding going forward, you know. There's also big problems with people duplicating other people's accounts and causing a lot of issues. I know at least 3 or 4 people it's happened to in real life in my local community, myself included, where people will copy your pictures and your name and everything else and then send out mean posts and things like that to other people. So watch for that. And if you see something weird from somebody who's normally on your timeline and you like and everything else, don't just immediately react and think that, oh, they're a horrible person, I'm unfriending them immediately. Check, because maybe they've been hacked or something. So I always advise, don't be too quick to jump. I had somebody who had unfriended me a couple weeks ago because they couldn't see some post I had shared. And it wasn't anything I did. It wasn't that I had limited them or anything and they thought I had. It was just simply that the post I shared, the sharing permissions set by the person who I shared it from, were set to only share to people that we both mutually knew. So don't be so quick to react. If you think you're blocked or limited or something, then talk to the person. If they're important to your relationship, then talk to them or find out what's going on. Don't just unfriend randomly if they're important to you. And if they're not important to you, then go ahead and unfriend because they shouldn't be there anyways. The other thing about Facebook, let's talk about some of the other benefits. So you have your personal account, but then you also have Facebook groups and you have Facebook pages. So with your Facebook groups, they are absolutely great for online collaboration, for group masterminds, for other common interest groups, because in the groups you can discuss things, you can share articles, you can run polls, you can do so many different things with Facebook groups. Your Facebook pages are going to be more for your business and for your professional page. And on your Facebook pages, you can do things like call to actions. You can even put purchase buttons and things like that now, I believe. Booking appointment buttons using some of the different Facebook app plugins. And that's where you can create your true online presence for yourself or your business. So again, you've got your personal account, your Facebook groups for group collaboration, and then your Facebook page for your business or organization, your public face. So make sure you're using those right, because if you're using them wrong, it's really not good. I don't want to see people using company names as their personal page or using partial names or whatever else. Be authentic and be out there and be who you are. Don't try hiding behind other names, and make sure you're using the right account for the right purpose. Facebook is cracking down on it too. So if you're using the wrong format and they catch up to you, you might lose absolutely everything. So don't take that chance. Make sure you're using it right, and take advantage of all the wonderful Facebook tools that are out there for the different pages and groups. Any other tips on Facebook?
No, I think just it can be very powerful. It just has to be managed properly. That's the biggest thing.
Well, so let's talk about our other favorite social media thing, I guess, Twitter.
I see Renaud there's doing some unfollowing. I think I'll be inspired to go on and do that as well.
Yes, I haven't curated my list for a while, but everybody who comes up on my list now are people that I want to have on there. And I'm really careful as I add people as it is. So on to Twitter. Twitter is my favorite.
Yeah, Twitter, I mean, I think you're much more of a Twitter user than I am, so I'll let you talk about that.
Okay, so Twitter is the place to go when you want to meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. That is the difference from Facebook. Facebook is people you already know, or really that's what it should be. It should be people you already know, have already met. Twitter is the way to reach out to people that you have never met before that you want to meet. So everyone from Gary B, who is absolutely awesome and will respond to you, to other people in other communities. World Domination Summit, where Kevin and I met, that is how I found out about it. I found out about it through Twitter. I found out about a whole bunch of other events and happenings through Twitter. Most of the people I've connected with in the last 3 years have all been because of Twitter. And all the opportunities I've had have all also been because of Twitter. So it is a place to go to find out what is happening immediately, to find people that you don't already know, and to really get involved in the community. You can engage with anybody. So that means you can tweet to anybody you want. They might not reply to you, but you can reach out to anybody you want, no matter how powerful or rich or famous they are. You can still tweet to them, which is pretty interesting in itself.
Yep.
And surprisingly, they will tweet back at times. So do that.
Yeah, no, it's
The other thing I love about Twitter is Twitter chats. And I'm not talking about the Twitter chats that are sponsored and offer all the awards and prizes like Canadian Chicken Chat or Canadian Beef Chat or the Target Chat or things like that, where you take part in the Twitter party and then you can win prizes, and it's a bunch of corporate propaganda trying to get you interested in different products.
Yeah.
It can be a very handy tool to use, and it does definitely generate conversation, quite good conversation at times. But the Twitter chats I love are the ones where you truly get to learn from each other and truly get to engage. So just a few of the ones I participate in are Media Chat, Atomic Chat, Millennial Chat, MCEO Chat, which is Millennial CEOs. There's Power of Connection Chat on Monday mornings. And then I also do a spoof chat, which is just a really fun, ridiculous chat. The benefit of all these chats is not only reaching out to a whole bunch of people and meeting people all over the world, it's also an opportunity to learn from each other, learn what is happening in different worlds. My focus tends to be more on social media marketing, so those are the chats I'm in, and also millennials and entrepreneurship. But through those chats, I'm learning a lot of information. I'm sharing my own thoughts. I'm hearing from others. And it's a really great way to learn information. So I highly recommend, if you haven't tried a Twitter chat yet, to jump onto one and find out what's going on. There is a Twitter chat for almost every subject, including Blab. I don't know when the Blab Twitter chat is, but I know there is a Blab community there. Oh, hi, Thomas. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, well, so you haven't used too much in terms of Twitter, but you're on Twitter. So
I am on Twitter, yeah, but you know, it's something I could stand to improve myself.
And it's interesting where social media in itself is going. Facebook and Twitter were #1, and I think they still basically are, but Instagram and Snapchat are quickly coming on board as primary places for millennials, especially. Millennials love Instagram, they love Snapchat, they love Pinterest, they love things like Blab and Periscope and Meerkat. And I guess those are applications too we should talk about. Meerkat, Periscope, and Blab. Live video. Renan, that's great that Blab's got you started using Twitter. So I've used Blab, Meerkat, and Periscope. What about you, Kevin?
Just Blab.
Just Blab? Okay, so there's a little bit of a difference between all of them. Periscope is live video, so you turn it on, you watch it. I think you can save the video now, but basically you're live streaming from whatever you're streaming at. You can stream as long as you want, as short as you want. And it seems to have overtaken Meerkat, which does a lot of the same thing. Now, I went offline for like a week, and all of a sudden Blab was there, and I absolutely love Blab. I prefer Blab over Periscope or Meerkat. The thing I love most about Blab is not only the nice format, but the fact that it has a nice recording tool on it. So you click record, you can record your entire Blab, and when you're done your Blab, it sends you a nice little link that you can embed into your website or anything else. I embedded into my website, www.rebeccapalmer.ca. And Kevin, I think you were going to embed it into your own website.
Yeah, I have.
And do you want to share your website address?
It is www.adventurousintrovert.com.
I love that, adventurous introvert. Yes, so you can find recordings of these Blabs on our blogs, and I believe you can also see it on Blab as well and watch the replays as long as you want. And it is a great tool for being able to talk to people. It's ordinary people sharing their skills, expertise, and experiences. And that's something we need to do more of.
Yeah, no, it's that's great. It is. I really like Blab for sure. It's great, great platform to interact on.
And I think this is what, our fourth episode, or is this our 5th?
I think it's the 4th.
Yeah, something like that. We're getting a little better at it each time, and it's coming a little bit more naturally. So.
Practice for us.
I know.
Right?
Well, do any of our watchers have any apps that they would like to share that they use for online tools, or any other online tools they use? Who's still online? Renaud?
Yeah.
Evernote, yes. It's on my list too to talk about. So I love using Evernote, and if I don't use them often enough, but Evernote allows you to have a lot of information. I use one of the plugins, and I can't remember which one it's for, but it allows me to scan business cards, and then it also pulls in my contacts information from LinkedIn if they're on LinkedIn, and puts it all into my contact list, and I absolutely love that. I don't use Evernote enough, and I really need to use it more. So if anybody has any suggestions, please send me a message, because I'd love to know more about what your favorite parts of Evernote are.
Yeah, I have a plugin for the Evernote. It's like a web clipper, so if you're on a website that you like, you can clip it, and then it saves it as a note within a given notebook, which works quite good. And yeah, I don't know. I just have, like, I've got Evernote as a favorite or a pinned tab in Google Chrome, so it's always open. And then I've also got the app on my phone. So if I have an idea, you know, I tend to put it in there, and I have like brainstorming notes and whatnot just to get it all in one spot. Because in the past, I found I had troubles where I'd write something somewhere and then something somewhere else. And it's nice with Evernote, you can have it all kind of together.
Wow, I keep losing you today, Kevin. I keep getting you streaming weird. So the other tool I love to use in conjunction with Evernote and other tools is IF. IFTTT is the name of it. And with IF, it's if this, then that. So what it allows me to do is curate different things into everything from a spreadsheet of new LinkedIn contacts and all their information to adding people to groups or lists in Twitter. So if I want to add everybody who tweets about entrepreneurship to a list, I can do that just by having that IF code set up. And it comes in very handy for that reason. It comes in handy to set other recipes so you can actually curate different information as it comes in from different sources. I do recommend checking it out and seeing if it works for you. But do be careful, because sometimes it's a little bit overambitious and does things you don't want it to do, or adds too many people, or if you're adding people based on a chat keyword, when the spammers hit the chat feed, they're also going to end up in your list, which is not really a good thing. Slack is another awesome tool as well. I've used Slack. I've also used Babbel for teamwork. It's a little bit different, but very interesting. Yammer is another one I've also used that's a little bit similar to Slack. If anybody is trying to schedule meetings and needs to find mutual agreeable times, use Doodle. Because with Doodle, what you do is you set a few suggested times, and then you send everybody the link. And when they click on the link, then they just pick what days work for them, and that gives you the day that works the best for the biggest group of people. So it's very handy.
Yeah.
TurboScan, I've never heard of that. I have. I don't know how to pronounce names. Renand, what is TurboScan about? Here, let's have Renand come on. Oh.
So what TurboScan does...
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh, do we have a picture?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So what TurboScan does is it allows you to, it's an iOS app, and it allows you to take a picture of any document and turn it into a PDF in seconds. It lines it all up. I mean, there are a few out there, but I have never seen one that's as effective as TurboScan. Basically, you can just put your paper on a flat surface, or sometimes you can even just hold it up, take a picture of it, and it will line the edges to make it just a perfect size document. And then you can email it immediately, or you can, save it. So anytime that you need a signature from somebody, I mean, fax is obsolete, completely obsolete, right? And TurboScan just makes that transition into having having a fax in your hand, right? Or a way to a scanner. You have a scanner in your hand that you can just email documents. You can sign it, email it, and send it over. You need a copy of your license to send to somebody. You can take a picture of your license and just send it in a PDF, and everybody can open it. There's no problems with compatibility.
That's absolutely awesome.
That's by far.
Well, it must be my internet that's crazy, because I'm losing both of you guys. Are you guys able to see me okay?
Yeah,
we can see you. We can hear you just fine. We can see each other.
I can hear Renand just fine too.
Yeah, that's odd, because both of you are on audio only with poor internet signal, which really sucks, because I love hearing about TurboScan. It sounds like a great program. Now, is it a free application, or is it a
I think it's a
pay
couple
basis?
bucks. I think it's maybe up a max. It's $5 or something like that. It's well worth the price, because it's so simple to use, and it's so accurate and clean.
Sounds like it.
I've had it since like the first version, and it's never really had to change much, because they did it right in the first place. It's awesome.
It's $3.49 US.
Pretty
there
cool,
you go.
Really cool, very inexpensive, and just lifesaver.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good to know.
Yeah. Do you have any other app or online tool recommendations?
No, you mentioned the business card one. I think they got, I used to have I think it was CardScan, and they got bought out by, I think, LinkedIn, and then I think it just disappeared because I don't even have it on my my options here, which I wonder what happened to all my contacts then. It's probably here somewhere, maybe a different name. But yeah, it would automatically transcribe the business card and place somebody in your contacts, and then link it to their LinkedIn accounts. So all the business cards that I had, I could just go through a list of all the business cards I collected. I never had to keep one in my pocket. But now I'm wondering what happened to the app. Very interesting. Some of them, sometimes they disappear.
Yeah, I think there's definitely no shortage of apps out there. There's tools for everything, and the trick is to find the ones that work best for you and not get overwhelmed, because I mean, we've probably talked about 20 apps already today, and if you were to go out and download every single one of them, you could probably start to go
take a look
crazy.
at this.
Yes, you definitely have to look at each app and see what works best.
Yeah,
I have them color coordinated. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's kind of cool, but that's a lot of apps.
Yeah, I have pages and pages of them. But there is I don't know, it works with my head. I know where the white background ones are and the blues and the reds, and I don't ever have to go to folders again, which is pretty cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, no, that's
and we all use apps in
awesome,
different ways, so it's always good to know new apps and find out what works for other people, because it may or may not work for us.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Dropbox compared to all the other, like Google Drive, a paid subscription for either Google Drive or Dropbox, or there's another dozen of them out there. What do you guys think?
I prefer Google Drive wherever I can use it. It's just so seamless, and I can easily use it with my Gmail. I can use it across all my devices, no problem. Dropbox, I find, takes me longer to access, and it has more limits on space, I find.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of prefer Google Drive as well, just because I use Google Gmail, my Google Calendar, Google Docs. Just works well together for me.
Yeah.
What's your own?
Well, companies that I've worked with usually have Dropbox accounts, so that's the one that I've adopted and I keep, just because of sharing documents with people that have Dropbox accounts. I think that was the first one that came out that people really engaged with. So it seems like, at least in my world, more people had Dropbox accounts than anything else. And I think it was because it was the first one to kind of emerge before Google Drive really came into the picture and all of that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely been around for a while.
I guess I hear something.
Oh, see, there's another one kid. I'm glad I'm not the only one who had kid issues today, Renan. It seems that they really like to come in whenever you're trying to do something, isn't it?
Oh yeah, my kids will pop into the picture and just like watch, and they'll be like, they'll scoot
one
me
day
over
I'll
to the
actually
side.
have a blab, and there won't be any kids in the background.
They'll get one of my earpieces and they'll put it in their ear. They'll listen.
Well, I'm
depending on
losing
the
you guys
blab, I
all
won't
the
let them do
time
it.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something with your connection, because you also seem to be lagging behind a couple seconds when you start talking.
Yeah.
So
Blab is funny.
I can't
hear
hear anything you guys are saying.
You could have a really good connection, but then just
Okay,
because
so
of
I don't know how our recording's going to turn out, because on my computer, you guys are coming in completely scrambled in terms of voices. So,
I guess we'll see. We'll see how. Hopefully, it's recording on Blab servers and not on your computer, because it's been pretty good for me.
I had
That's good. So maybe it's just me. Yeah. Your audio is just absolutely scrambled, very digitalized, and I don't know how it works for the recording. I know I'm recording on my end, so I guess we'll see in the playback how it actually ends up sounding.
Yep.
But both of you are showing poor internet.
We'll learn something about Blab.
Yep.
Are you on mobile, or are you on desktop or Mac?
I have no idea what you said. I couldn't hear you.
You on desktop? Yeah, I think it's breaking in for her.
Yeah, it is, I think. Well, I actually do have to get going, I think, here, so I will drop off. You guys keep on going.
Yeah, I'm going to drop off as well, and
Yeah,
let's end our podcast today. And join us next Saturday at 11 a.m. EST.
Same time.
Yeah, same time. So come join us next week. We haven't decided on a topic. We'd love to have you join us again, and we'll talk to everyone soon.
We'll see you guys.
Yep. Talk to you later.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Yay! Dad, please my email. Dad, please my email.